Welcome to this next episode of Your Music, Your Story. Today we're talking with Andy B in the World, or I guess just Andy from Andy B in the World.
Yeah, just the first bit.
Just the
World
first.
would be a great second name though, wouldn't it? Like, be a good strong name.
Go with it. Go with it. So if we get started, when I was going through your last album, or I guess not the last album, the compilation, the one. Let me make sure I make it the first.
The first one, yeah.
So I just listening to it, I'd say that Frantic is my favorite song off that album. That's my jam.
You'd be in good company on that front.
Angry men in angry times, mollycoddled boys in pressed white shirts and ties. They are vocal, they are loud, but they're not saying anything worth writing about. Men's rights and pro-life vitriol, masculinity is so damn fragile. Well, excuse me while I tune out. What you're talking about? Your status quo is under threat, there is no doubt. Ain't no revolution, ain't no change. You're an echo from a time that's left behind. Ain't no answers, ain't no new point of view. If you think you're onto something, well, my friend, you're fucking high. Angry men and angry boys, picket signs and tiki torches with their new toys. Well, excuse me while I fight back. If we don't defend, we're open to attack. Ain't no revolution, ain't no change. You're an echo from a time that's left behind. Ain't no answers, ain't no new point of view. If you think you're onto something, well, my friend, you're fucking high. Ain't no revolution, ain't no change. You're an echo from a time that's left behind. Ain't no answers, ain't no new point of view. If you think you're onto something, well, my friend, you're fucking high.
But so I just, listening through it, whatever. And then, so this morning I was just kind of going through to figure out when it was released. And when I read the description on Spotify, it said that it took you guys 4 years and you had was 100 and some odd. Well, let me see.
Yeah.
100 and some odd.
Let's see.
So
Yeah.
how on earth how did that come about? Like what was that thought process?
I think it kind of found me, if you know what I mean. I spent years and years and years touring in ska punk bands, like anything up to 300 days a year. And when I came away from that, I kind of carried on writing. I kind of just needed some me time, I think, after being on the road for that long. And I started missing all the friends we'd made. You know, we were lucky enough to make a lot of friends around the world. And I sort of tried starting bands a couple of times, but people would have kids or that kind of thing.
Getting married.
And I realized my touring commitment was probably more than most of the, yeah, it's the sort of time of the age, isn't it? So I just started traveling around the world, catching up with friends and recording the album with them. And it just kind of, I never really had a set plan. It just went from there, really. And then 6 years later, it was a thing. I guess I knew during the process at some point, I was like, okay, this is shaping up to be something people seem vaguely interested. I'll make a proper go of it rather than just kind of prattling around, catching up with mates.
So, so did you record everything in one spot or just have people record wherever they were at and send you tracks? How did that work?
Oh, everywhere, literally. Like I took like a laptop with me and a really little interface and microphone, and recorded all sorts of places, like the riverbed of the Colorado River, people's garages that I'd never met before. And lockdown happened right at the end of it, so it finished off, you know, kind of remotely through different people's houses as well. So you hear like 100 different living rooms or cupboards.
That is impressive. So, man, that is impressive thing to do. I mean, I've heard of doing some collabs with a few people, you know, 174, you know, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, we kind of took it and ran. Ironically, we're working on a second one now, and I may been aiming for 500 musicians on that, and I think we're going to surpass it by quite a margin. Like, which is
that's impressive.
all stupid, as I think. I didn't learn the first time. It should be like I shouldn't call it the second one. It should be called I Don't Learn.
So when you guys did the video, was that the same kind of thing? Because I mean, I don't know the UK, but it kind of looked like the same kind of landscape. So was all that done in the UK, or was that kind of move all over the place?
Yeah, that one was.
Or
We
for
kind of
France?
had,
Sorry.
yeah. In the UK, we kind of had like lockdown came and went a few times. And that video, so when we launched the album, we didn't have a music video because we couldn't physically make one. And Frantic's video was kind of got to a point where I was like, well, we need something. And I'd filmed, we had I think it was like a 2-week break where you could meet up with people. So I met up with singer Ben, who you see for the most of the video, and filmed him. And then we went into lockdown again. So I got a family member, went for a walk with me, and we shot the bits of me. The trombone player Pook and his partner did the same. And the same actually for Matt, the singer from JB Conspiracy that's also in it. His partner filmed him. And that was, it was very much done remotely. But yeah, all people in the UK, that one, all people in the UK.
Okay. So also on that one, so you also have, you released an album, song Apathetic?
Yes.
Sounding like a train wreck. Love songs with no heart, MCs with no buzz. You like the pretty songs, but you don't like politics. They singers should be singers like Will Puppets and politics. Singing with their jaws locked, wonder where the hearts of the undead cabaret. Tell me when the chorus drops, cause I feel a little lost, yo. Same
dare give away. You kinda wanna move but don't. I just don't care, to be fair. I wanna put the artist through the music, so if they're in heart then I won't choose it. Never gonna click, never gonna play, never gonna listen to what you say. It's bait, it's slave, no change a rainy day. Suck, this is your takeaway. Every day you try to change the taste, but you came and took that taste away. You back at your back at tower, hammer out to tracks an hour, landing on your stacks of cash and grabbing at the power. Just take beats in the process, gonna bet the most bread. And be a no so best, gonna change that beat to a C. Cause some people agree that it feels the best in the piece on my desk. Talking that BPM for the people that know that it pleases them. With the EDM or drill down, I'll run a zigzag through, make a mishmash inside creativity, weaving in and feel out of the new stuff. So true love, ain't about that pay rise. Just love for the buzz and the bass line. This pop on start, it's strong, the bass is hip hop, it's rocking, so bass. Don't stop that tape, you're on the way. In a bit of music, not the fame. Now move to the bass and beats, don't ever get stopped when you say your piece. Get shit up, then break the seat, if you can't get out and chase your dream. I said, have a laugh, mate, sing me at the bar, mate, play, make a time, mate, have another jar, mate, like we're making a back to the stars. Cause music is fun and we're having a blast.
Sing me a song that feeds on your last breath. The chorus close to once, cause we're not dead yet. Show me drop the war, beat hearts right out of your dead chests. Nothing written in a single word that you've said yet. Sick to the stomach on these undead songs. So brainless, pick this up, you sing along. No, we don't wanna hear it. We don't wanna hear another ghost song. Sick to the stomach on these undead songs. So brainless, pick this up, you sing along. No, we don't wanna hear it. We don't wanna hear it.
Is that more of a band with just you and some other people, or is that kind of a compilation as well?
Kind of. So like when the project kind of came to completion, we did well, we didn't have to, we wanted to, did like an album release show, and I kind of, a few friends of mine over the years had like reached out and been like, oh, if you ever do it live, I'd love to play. I was like, cool. So I kind of had people that are up for it, and we did an album launch show, then we got offered a festival, and we put a show together and did it, and everyone kind of enjoyed hanging out. So I was like, okay, well, let's be a live band as well. So they're all kind of on Apathetic. Apathetic was a song that was left over from recording the first one, but no one had ever I'd given it to a few vocalists, and everyone kind of struggled with it. It's a bit of a weird song, me included, to be fair. And I gave it to Jake and Tom of Rishambo, and they just ran with it and completely nailed it. Like I was quite like I don't know what's the word, like super surprised that someone actually managed to write for it, and they nailed it. So yeah, lots of my live band are on it, and another band from the label we released it on. So it's kind of a somewhere between the two. It's collaborative, but also a little bit more kind of core band.
Okay. So on the picture of the album cover, there's the three. Is that who it is? The you and the other two that worked with you on it?
Yeah, the other two singers. So I mean, I sung in the loosest sense of the word, like a few lines on it. So it's the three vocalists, or two vocalists and one masquerading vocalist.
Someone who's pretending to be.
Yeah, that's it. Imposter syndrome 101.
I do it all the time. So on that one, since you have all right, let me back up. So when you wrote just the song without the vocals, are you a drummer, a bass player, a guitar? You did all those, or did you have
a little from column A, B, and C? I'm kind of all the above.
Oh,
but on that, it's not me drumming. It's our old drummer Nick drumming, the guy that drummed a lot of the first one. But I think the rest of the instruments are me. I think, apart from the horns, obviously we've got our horn section played on it. But I think the rest of it was me. But no, someone else played keys on it. I think Pam played keys on it. Struggling to remember now. It's a little while ago. Yeah, there's a few other people on it, but I write drum parts. I play bass and guitar, do a bit of piano, kind of do a few things. So usually like the demos have stemmed from like my hands essentially.
So how long have you been a musician for?
Since the kid. I had piano lessons when I was a kid and sucked at that massively. And then picked up a guitar in my teens, and that was it. Kind of made friends with the grunge kids at school and wanted to be the next Smashing Pumpkins at the time, till I sort of realized punk was probably more in my ability level.
Nice. So are you in a band now, or are you still kind of doing your own stuff and just picking up musicians where needed?
It's kind of become a thing. So we're about to launch an album. When we became a live band, we started writing together, so because we knew we were going to do more live shows. So I was like, I mean, I'm not a great singer, and our set's kind of like a covers set, which is quite hard, I think, as a singer. So like we started writing songs that were akin to my voice. So yeah, we've got an album coming out which is called Minus the World. So it's a non-collaborative album as us lot. So it gives some songs we can play in the live set amongst the others. So we're doing that. We're doing quite a lot next year. We're sort of playing Punk Rock Holiday, Handfest we just announced today. There's a few tours sort of here and abroad lined up to announce at the start of next year. So yeah, we're kind of that. We're kind of becoming a proper band, as well as working on the collaborative stuff, and sort of still trying to do charity things. But I do also now play bass in our label mates Rochambeau as well.
Okay. So the album that you're working on, that's separate than this 500 musician collab that's going to come out, or is that the same kind of thing?
So all under Andy Being the World, but Minus the World is just the non-collab one. So yeah, we've just recorded one basically that's us as just the live band without kind of collaborate. Or I say that we still collaborated with people on it, but that's kind of to fill the gap before the second one comes out, because obviously it's taken me a long time to make that as well.
Oh, nice. Another one, because where I had heard of you guys is from, you guys did I just forgot what it's called, on the Upbeat. Ska on Your Stock.
Oh right, yeah, Matt and RJ's podcast.
Yeah. So you guys did Santa Baby.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Chimney tonight. Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. I did it all for you, girl. Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, I could be walking convertible too, like blue. I'll wait for you, my dear. Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I missed. Think of all the fellas I haven't kissed. Next year I could be as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want a yacht and really it's not a lot. I've been an angel all year. Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one little thing I need a deed to a platinum mine. Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, I fill my stocking with the duplex and checks. Sign your eggs on the line. Santa cutie, hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and trim my Christmas tree with the decorations all at Tiffany's. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a ring. I don't mean on the phone. Santa baby, hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight.
Yeah, it's an arrangement I've had for a long time of that song. So I did something for them a couple of years ago, when they do this annually. Well, them and Gary do this thing annually, and I forgot about it a couple of years ago till about 3 days before the launch date. And I remember Gary messaged me like, "How's it going?" I was like, "Oh, really? Okay, leave it with me." And in 72 hours, I kind of put something together. And luckily, I went to bed one night and sent it to my friend Jenny Morrison of Tef London. She did the vocals overnight, and I woke up and kind of mixed it and sent it off to them. And how we did that is beyond me. But this year, I felt like I was really well prepared, and I wasn't. It's got very similar story. I was like taking a mix off at like 1 a.m. when I had to give it to them at like midnight.
Oh, that sounds good though.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, yeah, I liked it.
I was quite chuffed. Matt was saying he doesn't really like that song, but he was like, "I like this version of it," and I was like, "I'll take that as a compliment. I'll take it as a compliment."
So I mean, man, you really, how'd you get all that together so quickly?
Some people just thrive under pressure and are incredibly lazy without the pressure. I think that's probably the best way I can describe it or explain it.
Well, listening to it, I mean, I wouldn't have known. It wouldn't be like, who threw this crap together?
Oh,
It's
nice, thank you. Although
sound.
there is one mistake I'll let you in on. It's if you
Uh-oh.
listen to it against the other songs, it's mastered really quietly. And that's because 1 a.m. me did not think to check it against anything else. I just kind of took it off. I was like, yeah, that's fine. It'll be fine. Thinking it was normal. I just used my normal kind of like output settings, which are obviously used on other things. And I didn't really realize till I was like, they posted it and I was like, oh, cool, let's have a listen to the other songs. I was kind of listening through and I got to our song. I didn't clock it at first. I was like, oh, this song's quiet. And I was like, that's our song. Great. So don't rush it is what is my advice to anyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll have to say I was impressed by it, so I liked
Oh,
it.
thank you. I've got to say actually the singer Jules is the girl that plays keys on it, Pam. She's sort of joined us for live shows quite a bit. She's been over this country whenever we've done shows basically. And it's her bandmate Jules that did the vocals. So it was my first introduction to Jules really, and she did that. In fact, she did the intro last, and she did the intro with a cold, and she sounds phenomenal on it. It's an amazing voice. I think she's really should credit her with carrying it because she's great.
So did she record it? Kind of? Did you get a hold of her last minute as well? And she just like this is what she did under pressure, or did she do it because you'd had it before? The idea.
Kind of. I didn't give it. I remember when Pam put me in touch with her, and she's like, "Oh, cool. How long do we have to do this?" And I was like, "Oh, about 3 days." And she's like, "Okay." So she
No pressure.
she
No
got
pressure.
it done. I mean, she's obviously one of those people that's just incredibly talented as a singer. So it's just a case of like figuring out how to time it because it's a lot faster than the original, and just kind of doing it. But she's obviously very talented, as is Pam. To be fair, Pam did a great job as well,
Yeah.
especially keeping up with it on keys because like playing offbeat on keys is a bit more involved than guitar, and it's very quick. So well done, Pam.
Good job, Pam. Good job.
Good job, Pam.
Yeah, I'd have to say because I made it onto that album, and so it just made it's awesome to listen to it, and like I hear my own song in the middle of it.
Oh, awesome!
Feel
Actually,
awesome.
I must admit, like, because we obviously met quickly the other day via like a message, so I haven't had. I need to go back and re-listen now, because pretty much when I got to how quiet ours was, I kind of my only memory of listening to it at the moment is like,
Well, son of Tatum.
need to go back and listen to it and enjoy it properly now. So I'll look out for that. I'll look out for that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was this is my first time ever being on a compilation, so it was made me feel special.
Oh, how is the process for you?
Yeah. So I'll do Christmas covers every year, and
Okay.
it's usually so I'll do the drums, I'll do the guitar. Usually I'll start in like March or whatever, and I'm usually done by everything by I don't know June, July. I'm just like you. I'm not a great singer. I struggle in the singing department. So it takes me the whole rest of the year just to try and get it out. And it's usually those last few weeks. And I'm like, oh, geez, come on. I got to cough these out. So,
Oh, fair play to you. Well, it's the voice always finds a way to like when we were doing this minus the world thing, it was supposed to come out a long time ago, and I got laryngitis when we started doing the vocals. It's like my body knew. It was like, nah, you've got this way too organized. Like, it's like when you
throw a
do
wrench
like
into
Christmas
this.
shopping in September, and then you get to wrap it, and you realize you haven't bought any wrapping paper. That's
You're like, God dang it.
yeah.
Yeah, that I'd have to say, so I did a cover of Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton's You Make It Feel Like Christmas. And so I had a friend, Karen Roberts from Chase Long Beach.
That's your cover, right? Okay, yeah, I know Karen really well.
Yeah, so she luckily, because when it came out, I'm like, well, I can't. Well, am I going to sing to myself? Just do it myself? That's kind of weird. So she had been on the podcast, and I thought, you know what, I'll just see if she'll do it. And then another friend that I was in a band with, Dave, he did the other part for it. So all I had to do was some backing, so it wasn't that bad.
Nice.
It was.
Oh, you're in good company, man. Karen's got a great voice.
Oh yeah, for
It's
sure.
like so recognizable. Like you got a very unique voice in the best possible way. Like you can just tell it's her. She's got a style. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
big fan of Karen's
for
voice.
sure. She's got a unique voice, so it was fun. So, are you guys are gonna do some tour, or once you get your album together, you're gonna do some touring, or you already are doing touring?
We've got some things lined up. There's some things I can't talk about yet because we're still booking them. But yeah, there's quite a lot for next. Basically, next year is the year of live shows. We didn't do a lot this year. We were trying to get all the kind of background stuff. As you can probably imagine, doing the collab albums takes a ton of work, and because we give the money away to charity from the album as well, which is a lovely thing to do. It's not the most, like, it's not business wise, it's not a great fiscal decision. So,
No, of course, not at all.
so we try to like do fundraising and all that kind of thing, just figuring out ways to make it work, because the scope's so much bigger this time. It's lovely to do, but obviously it costs a fortune to do. And I end up being, it's like in a band of 8 people, you'd have 8 people to spread it around, but with this, it's just me. So yeah, it's an expensive hobby, should we say.
Well, for sure. That's crazy. That's still pretty cool though, that you can do all that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I am a producer is the thing that makes it work. Like if I had to pay for, pay someone else to do the recording or take someone with me, or all that, it just wouldn't. I'm sure it would be possible, but I'd need deeper pockets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang, that expensive hobby stuff.
I mean, it's what's that meme about the musician? Like, it's like the picture of jeans, and it's like no one knows that little side pocket is for all the money you make as a musician. It's pretty accurate.
I like the one that people put on there that it's like pays and loads a $2,000 car full of $50,000 worth of gear to make $4 at a show.
Yeah, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, it's not a great business decision. It's like, if you're lining up your careers, musician is definitely the one at the bottom of the money pile. It's just the one with all the fun.
Yeah. I told my dad when I was a kid, he's like, "So what do you want to do?" I said, "Maybe a musician." He goes, "Well, son, that might be fun, but you might want to fill into a real job one day." Thanks for the vote of confidence there, Pops.
Even in my touring days, I remember coming home from a tour. We did a tour with Real Big Fish, and it's pretty early on in like my old band's kind of days before we did really, really well. I remember coming home with photos of us playing to like 2,000 people a night, and even then had people going, "Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a job, is it?" I was like, "It feels like a real job. Like, I'm pretty happy."
Oh yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Musicians made a lot of money, but most of us don't.
No, not as long as I'm doing this project anyway.
Yeah. So do you have an idea of who all you want on this project, or are you still working out who you want?
Yeah, we've had some yeses. So at this time I reached out to some bigger names from outside our genre. And we've had a couple of yeses, which are great. It's just making it happen now. There's a few bands that said I'm a massive fan of the Cat Empire, and I really wanted to have any member of the Cat Empire. I'm not choosy. And that's one I haven't figured on yet. Actually, one of my friends, obviously, they've changed lineup now, so now it's Felix and Ollie, isn't it, and different musicians. And they did something in America, and one of my friends was there, and they kind of hung out, and now kind of ended up friends with Felix. So I've got my way in.
You got an in now.
But yeah, there's quite a few people I'd like to get, but I'm kind of trying to be open-minded with it. Like, one of the things I really like with it is it's obviously a sort of ska punk folk album at heart. Maybe it's heavier this time, but like it's nice to have all the different kind of cultures and like genres from all corners of the world involved in it. So still needs, a bit like the first one, it's still got a core sound, but there's lots of different ideas from afar going into there, and I kind of want to make that spread even wider.
So are you gonna write, okay, we're gonna do, I don't know, here we're gonna do 15 songs, and you kind of write a basic idea for those 15 songs and send them out, or do you just kind of work on them as people give you ideas, or what's that process?
Little from column A, little from column B. Like 90% of it is I've demoed at home. Like, so when I finished the first one, obviously we had bits of lockdown, so actually behind the scenes I'd started writing the second one already, so I was kind of like having at it, and I ended up with had like a session in Cubase with like 40 songs or bits of songs in.
Oh wow.
But once the process gets going, I kind of that whittles down to like 14 songs or something. And we've got like an 18 song limit. Basically, I've got an 18 song limit at a certain track length as an average, because it's going to go on double vinyl again. So it's just a physical limitation time wise. And I'll come across singers occasionally that, you know, don't really suit any other songs. So if we're in a position to, we really want that singer, I'll kind of write something for it. Like there's a couple songs on the first one that were songs like that I just kind of wrote after the event. Obviously it's one of those things where I can get a different drummer in, doesn't really matter. So like it kind of evolves a bit, but I only about 10% of the album evolves that way. The rest of it's like I've got a song, and I'll send it out to singers and try to encourage them to write their own vocals. I've got ideas ready for them if not, or occasionally I've given them a melody if it's, I don't know, if I feel it's crucial to the flow of the song. But I've really tried to get other people to write their own thing, especially as I was trying to make the focus of this one as equally like mental health based as well as political, whereas the first one's maybe a bit more of an angrier political album. This one I'm trying to have a shift so it's kind of open, encouraging people to talk as well as also encouraging people to yell about stuff that angers them.
So are you mostly getting a lot of singers per se, or are you like a lot of drummers and bass players and guitar players and kind of mix them together? Or what would be the musicians?
Like anyone and everyone, really. I just tend to fill in the gaps that aren't there until they come along. But singers wise, we're probably 70% in, I'd say, like of main vocalists that have got something still to record. Bassists, I try to get a different bassist in every song, and I save one for myself. Like the main rhythm guitar is usually me, so I normally do that so there's a core sound all the way through everything. And then I just get as many different guitarists as I can to do, lead bits or extra, like all that kind of stuff. And then horn players obviously are easy because there's just so many of them, and the bigger the horn section, the kind of wilder it gets. So you just kind of keep adding until my ears will get, kind of listen to it and go, overcooked it.
Okay, it's done.
Yeah, that's it.
So when you have a physical limitation for the album, because you talk about, you're going to go on out records. Did you ever come across a time you're like, I really like this section of the song, but the rest of the song, I'm not so sure. So you cut it out or put it in another song or just shorten a song or anything like that?
Yeah, like when I had that initial template, when I realized I was going to do all the songs in one kind of session, I specifically set out an amount of time for each song, and it was 4 minutes or 3 minutes. I can't remember, something like that. And I was like, the songs can't go over that length. And I remember writing one song I really like. It isn't on the album actually at the moment. I think it's going to be, I've got someone very specifically in mind to sing it, and I think I'll just release it on its own. But the song takes about a minute to get going, and I remember writing it in the template, and I got to like the second chorus, and I was like, yeah, I'm nearly at the end. And I came up with the middle eight bit, which I was like, this is awesome. And then the middle eight kind of spilled over into the next song's template, and I was like, okay, so yeah, that song got pretty heavily pulled because like I sat there for about 2 nights just kind of going, do I like shorten it? And I kept shortening bits, and I was like, they don't like it as much now. So yeah, I kind of it got vetoed from the album by default.
So I mean, so you start with a lot of songs and you start whittling them down. Do you keep all the songs that don't make it on there? Do you keep them and say, hey, we'll maybe put this on a different album? Or do you just kind of, once you get to a new album, you're going to start over fresh, and those ideas will just be, just stay where they are?
So, because obviously the scope of work doing these is pretty massive. It takes quite a big chunk out of my life, which I love. But I was kind of quite aware that the second one will probably be the last collaborative album I do, because it would be hard to do it again, I think. I mean, it takes so many years to do, I'm 41 now, so I'm going to be like pushing my mid 40s by the time this thing's done and out, and we're kind of at the end of the promo trail. So I kind of started thinking about having some of those songs go out on their own, so when the album's done, then actually just doing songs on their own, so I can just kind of focus on that one song, go see some people to do that one song, until something else changes. I mean, I'd love to do a third one, but we're nowhere near even thinking about that yet. And I know thinking ahead now, for it to have a bigger scope than the second one, it would have to be funded by a label basically. And I don't think in this day and age any label's going to go, yeah, we'll pay for you to jet off around the world and have a great time. So I mean, any labels like listening that like think like that, then come at me, but I doubt it.
Sign me
so yeah,
up.
I think those songs will kind of become singles in their own sort of way.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun for you.
I hope so. Hopefully it's fun for the listener, because like the thing I like the most about making this is like when you read the booklet and you kind of see who you can listen to a song and you come, okay, it's a song. It sounds like it's got lots of musicians, but you know, it kind of still just sounds like a song. So when you read, like one of my friends was like, oh, he's listening to one of the songs when we released it. It's Got You Back, and he was like, "Gosh, it really sounds like a Les and Jake song." He's like, "Are any of those guys in it?" And I was like, I gave him the booklet, and he's like, "Oh, Les and Jake's bassist is the bassist," and he's like, "It makes sense." Like, and that's kind of like that journey is like it's so much fun. But of course, with the album, there's so many people. It's quite hard to necessarily like. It's just a lot to take in, you know. Whereas one song on its own, I feel like that information is a bit more accessible. You can kind of take it in one kind of gulp, you know. And I think that should be fun. I think for people, because that's the thing I get asked the most is like who's on what song and this and that kind of thing. Yeah.
You're gonna have to make a huge list, especially if you had 500 artists.
Yeah, honestly, I hand wrote all the credits for the first one in the artwork, and that was it was lovely to do because some people I hadn't thought about for like 3 or 4 years. Well, not thought about, like in 3 or 4 years I haven't really dealt with their part. So I was going through the sessions and I'd see the names and I'd be like, oh, and it was a nice path. But for 500 people, we've done a couple of things. We've played live shows and recorded like a gang vocal with the crowd whilst we're on stage. I try as I have to try to get every single name of everyone that was on it. There's an impossibility within that. So that's what I mean. I think we're going to get to 500 documented people, but I would imagine there'll be far more than 500 people on it. But some will end up undocumented because it's hard. Much as I try to get every name, some people might just not want to be on it. Some people probably might have remained silent when we did it. It's hard.
Great. So you talked about recording like on this one, let's say in Colorado. So whatever on your one that come out, so if you go and you do a tour and let's say you got somebody in Colorado that did a part, if you happen to be there, would you invite them on stage to play that one little part for them? Or they
can maybe let's say with guitars and bass and drums, because getting a band rehearsed in is quite a feat, and we're trying to do a live show specifically, so not just like rattle off a bunch of songs. Like we're trying to actually put like a show together with some bits and bobs in it, So things like that, not so much, but singers, 100% yes, and horn players, yes, here and there as well. But it's hard because we've done it in the UK quite a bit with some people that are here, but in terms of going abroad, we haven't necessarily done that yet. And of course here we've been able to, like, because of the nature of the shows we've done, we've maybe at soundcheck they've come along and had a quick run through the song, but on a tour you don't get that. That's not going to happen. So ultimately I think it's case by case basis. But yeah, that's the hope. The more of that we can throw into the live show, the better, because that's kind of what it's about. Kind of very much what it's about, like that collaborative thing. It's just I've just got to be not difficult. Just got to be careful if I've got certain live, core members of the live band, to not kind of usurp them for a song.
True.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. So we can add to it, but I certainly wouldn't want to like remove someone for a song, to make something happen. That's the only kind of hard and fast rule. We try to be quite inclusive with everything we do. So it's try to not delete a person for a song.
Go sit over there. Go away. This is awkward.
Yeah. So can you walk off the stage for a minute? Thanks. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah, off the stage. Yeah, that would suck. It'd be horrible.
We lost another musician today.
Yeah. Be like, were you fired? Be like, no, I just kind of asked to leave the stage.
And he just kept going. He never turned back.
Yeah, he never came back. There's only space for a song. Flew home. No.
Dear. Well, Andy, thanks for joining me. I know you got a lot going on. Thanks for telling.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Good luck on your up and coming shenanigans. It sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a busy year. It's a busy year. Although I've thankfully got my partner and I, it's our anniversary on Year's Eve, so we're off for 3 days now. We're off on a little trip, which would be nice.
Oh, so, fantastic.
Yeah, we're going down to Dieppe in France. It's driving down. It's a nice little trip before what is going to be a year of chaos. And she's very patient with me with all the chaos is me. I'm the chaos. She's very patient. So yeah, be nice to do it.
Well, good for her.
It's been nice to fit this in, Buddy. I've really appreciated being on. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And yeah, we'll have to do it again once you get your next collab come out. That sounds exciting.
100%. Would love it. Would love it.
All right. Well, thank you, and have yourself a good. I guess it's evening for you. We're still in the morning.
Yes. Yeah. Nice one. Thanks, man. You too.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Just let me